Mr. Hughes, you say you're stuck between your mother and your ex-girlfriend who are in a heated dispute in court today. Ms. McBirth, you petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove your son, Kakitho Hughes, is not the father of Ms. Jackson's 2-year-old son, Alijah Jackson. Furthermore, you're suing Ms. Jackson for $1,000 for defamation of character because you claim she posted comments on social media claiming you and your family are deadbeats. Now, Ms. Jackson, you say Ms. McBirth has been poisoning her son by convincing him he's not the biological father of your child. You claim the timing does add up and today's paternity test will prove you right. So, Ms. McBirth, why do you believe your son's not the father?
This woman is trouble. She is trouble with a capital T. She, as a matter of fact, I call her the 3 T's. Trash, trouble, and trifling. That's what she is. The little boy looks nothing like my son or any member of my family at all. Can I show it? Can I?
Absolutely, ma'am. What did you bring? Piece of evidence, Jerome, may I see that, please? This is a photo of your son and the child in question?
Right.
And you say the child looks nothing like your son?
That baby white as snow. There's no way that could be my grandchild or my son's baby. He has no features like none of us. Nobody in my family looked like that.
And just by looking at this child, you've determined and said to yourself, I do not believe that's my grandchild.
That can't happen. There's no way. There's no way.
So, Ms. Jackson, obviously you have a different opinion.
Yes, ma'am.
So why do you think she's in so much doubt over your child?
I have no idea, to be honest. Like, maybe because he is so white?
Because he's all the white. He ain't got no black in here. Everything I see got powder puff on it. I don't see no chocolate nowhere, okay?
No, ma'am.
Whatever.
Let me understand this relationship. So how long have you been in a relationship with Mr. Hughes?
For maybe about 15, 18 months.
Okay, so a little over a year. Were you in a committed relationship?
I thought we was.
You did, okay. And was he the only person you were intimate with during that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Now she knows she lying.
Can I say
She lying.
Yes, ma'am.
This DNA right here has been in our life. She's never was a girlfriend. You are a vampire. You are just a fly-by-night. We didn't know anything about you. He's been in a relationship for 10 years. So,
Mr. Hughes has.
10 years.
In
He got
10
2
years.
babies
He's been
by
in a relationship
another
for 2
woman.
years,
And
for 10
those
years.
are my grandchildren.
For 10 years. So all she basically was for him was a snack cake on the side of his meal.
Thank
there was
you.
nothing more.
Thank you. A side chick.
And all she has done is she's been trying to put the baby on us.
Force it. Yeah, you have. Don't sit up and
She
act like you
forced
haven't.
it, but the thing about her
She trying to push that baby on. That ain't mine.
This is-
I didn't sleep with her. That child is not ours.
When you say she's trying to push the baby on you, what do you mean?
She wants me to acknowledge that child is my son's. That's not gonna happen.
No, I think she's more so obsessed.
So, Ms. McBirth, tell me about the first time you met Alijah.
I seen him at the doctor's office where I was taking his real children to the doctor, and it was a newborn, and I walked past them, and I kind of glanced over there, and I seen this little white baby. I knew it wasn't mine, and I ain't had nothing else to say or do about it since then. She need to get that out of her head. That child is not my son's baby, period.
Well, let me first, of course, state the obvious, which I'm hoping you know as well, being African American. You know our children come in all colors, shades.
Elijah
She told me
is very
he wasn't.
white.
She told me she didn't know who the father was. She's changed her story up different times about who's the father. At first, when I first met the girl, she said, "Okay." I asked her. I said, "Okay, this is my brother's baby." She said, "Yes." I said, "Do you know or do you think?" She said, "I think." So when we asked while she was pregnant, we asked her for a DNA test.
And what did she say?
She was like, "Oh, okay." She was all for it. At that time frame, she was all for it, the DNA test. All of a sudden, when she had the baby, that was out the question because she come up with this lie talking about, "Oh, well, he can't do it because he's not here." No, that's a lie. You know exactly where he was at, and he had no. If she truly wanted him to take a DNA test, she could have had it done, but she didn't want to. Plus, the baby has her ex-husband's last name.
That's because that's my last name.
And so hold on now, if you don't think the child is his, why would she be trying to change the name?
Well,
We've been trying to change the name a couple weeks ago. Even we talked about it.
He's two
When
years.
My son ain't said
His
no lie
name's
like
not even
that.
on the
Stop
birth
lying.
certificate.
Stop lying.
Okay.
Whose name is on the birth certificate? Do you know?
Nobody's.
Exactly,
Because he went. He was not there when he was born.
That's
Exactly. I could put anybody on there, but I didn't.
Honey,
Exactly.
you
He comes back.
You sure should.
Until he
Go
gets
get the
back,
daddy,
that way he
because
can
it
be
ain't my
on the
son.
birth
It's been 2
certificate.
years.
So I was waiting
it
for
don't take
him.
2
So
years
hold
to add a
on,
baby.
now,
And
hold
we
on,
was
let's get
ready
some
to
order.
put
Let's
his
get some
name on
order.
it.
I want to understand this. Was he there when you had the baby?
No.
It was another guy, that's why.
There was nobody else there but my mom and my sister.
Your mom is in Germany, so you said, when did these people come?
My mom over here in the States.
So you just got caught in another lie.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
I'm sick of all these little hookers trying to say my son is the daddy. I'm sick of it. I get babies dropped off here, dropped off there. I'm sick
I'm not
of
dropping
it.
it.
But
It
Mrs.
stops
What she
today.
does- what
Because
she
that
does-
baby is
here-
not my son.
Here's the thing that she
It
does.
is.
Here's
I'm
the
sorry.
That's a lie.
Yes, it is.
No,
That's
it's
a
not.
lie. That's a lie.
First of all, she's a liar because you just had a wild sex party that got shut down by the police station last week.
Hello?
No, ma'am.
Yes,
That
you
is
did.
not
Yes,
true.
you did. Yes, you
There's some
did.
hoes in this
That
house.
is not
Okay,
true.
hold on.
Yes,
Miss
it is.
McBirth.
Yes, it is.
Miss McBirth. let's
Yes,
be
it is. It is
respectful.
true because
I'm about to
why is your
walk up
neighbors complaining about the sex that goes on in your
There was
household?
no sex
Yes.
going on.
How
No.
you know
Read
you're
the
drunk
police
and high?
report.
Okay,
If you
let's
want
get some
read
order.
the police report.
Ladies, let's get some order. Miss McBirth, I have to ask you, you're very tough on Miss Jackson. Do you have anything to say about your son's behavior?
My son has, I know exactly what type of person he is. He just as trifling as she is. He's a handsome guy. He's my son. And I know what he do. But he still, no matter what he do, he's still gonna be my son.
So hold on one second. Just take a look at the monitor. When you look at this picture,
It make me want to throw up.
it seems like your son is kissing the baby. It makes you want to throw
It
up.
makes me want to throw up because it's a
Why?
lie.
For your son to be kissing an innocent child?
Because it's not his.
It doesn't matter, really, if
It's
he's
not
showing
his.
the child love.
It's not his.
If your brother is sleeping with her and not using protection, couldn't he possibly be Elijah's father?
You know
No,
what?
not in this case.
Like the
no,
old saying goes,
No.
mama's baby's papa's maybe.
Maybe. That's my point. Mr. Hughes, what is your side of this? Please stand, sir. Step up to the podium. Do you believe you are Elijah's father?
I just gave him the benefit of the doubt because I'm biracial. My father's white, so
That child is not my son's, okay?
man.
She got men's coming and going
got
in and
your
out of her
birth.
house.
My
We
father's
don't
a
know.
brown-haired, blue-eyed dude, so
How you know? He just gonna
blind
say that
and blue
because
eyes.
she gonna freak him after this.
Yeah.
So now wait a minute. You're accusing your
My
brother
brother-
of not having enough sense to testify as to his own experience?
He's told us it wasn't his baby. He just told us that it wasn't his baby. So how can
When did he tell you this?
I never
Last
said
night?
that.
Can I show you this?
What
That
is
boy
that,
has
ma'am?
no features. He has no features of nobody in my
Jerome,
family.
pass me Miss McBirth's
There's
evidence.
no
please.
features,
One
nothing.
of the questions
They got the
Evidence
same
shows
nose.
what, Miss McBirth? Explain it
That
to
he
me.
has no features of any of us.
he don't look like nobody I know?
Nothing. Nobody.
He don't look like nobody
all
I
my
know.
grandbabies don't have a bridge on their nose.
looks
That
just
little
like
boy
Nicole.
got a bridge. My grandchildren all look alike. Every last one
all
of them.
his kids, all his
So
kids look
wait,
like.
we're looking at the bridge of the nose,
Right.
and you're saying none of those match.
None of those
He
match.
has all of his
He doesn't
children
look
alike.
nothing like my son.
All of his
Not a
kids,
thing.
they look alike. His youngest two, his youngest daughter and his son, the people think that they're twins because they look identical.
Okay.
I heard her, it was about a month ago, I was coming home from work and I heard her tell another guy who was out in the parking lot, she told him, she said, Cash, come on with daddy. Come with daddy.
I've heard him call other dudes daddy, though.
Woo!
Let me
I've
explain
heard
that.
him say that.
Go ahead,
will.
Trash. Tell
When
the
he
truth.
sees-
Tell the truth.
She makes it hard on herself, basically, because she feels a
Exactly.
lot of doubts in the situation.
So hold on. Were you having your son Alijah call someone else daddy?
No, ma'am. It's when he sees somebody light-skinned, when my son sees somebody, because he's not, I mean, he's around, but he's not there every day and all day, you know. So when my son sees like a tall, light-skinned guy with a hat on, he's like, Daddy, and I'm like,
No, that man was black.
no,
That man was
no.
black as my mom. You're a liar.
You were, wait. So were you telling him to call someone else daddy, or you were?
He knows when he sees him, he knows, oh, Daddy. He knows that's his daddy.
That's not what you said. What you said, Alijah, come on, let's go with daddy. Is your exact words.
I would
And you
never
named
do that.
Mr. Hughes, Mr. Hughes, have you ever heard Alijah call somebody
Yes, ma'am.
else
A
daddy?
few times.
Wow.
You have?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
She was with, just like the last guy she was with, I heard him call him daddy. He's nowhere near my complexion. You know, he don't wear hats either. He looks dirty for real.
Tell the truth, son.
But,
Tell the truth.
She throws a lot of doubts in the situation, you know what I'm saying? And I knew she was with another biracial dude before she was with me.
Like 3 months before, and I was 5 weeks pregnant when we found out I was pregnant.
Yeah, you get around, don't you? Do you know how many times a girl has said, this is my son's child, this one? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm sick of it.
First of all, she's
I'm
talking
tired of
about
keeping
previous
all
people.
these babies.
He got
Hold on.
Take care of them.
Hold on. Stop talking, because finally Miss Mcbirth is speaking the real truth of what she's really frustrated about.
I've been through hell. Every time I look around, it's a baby here, it's a baby there. And I'm the one stuck helping, gotta feed them, take care of the clothes, and keep them while the mom and daddy either go to work or run the street. I'm sick of it. I'm done.
So do you understand what your mother is saying, Mr. Hughes?
Yes, ma'am.
Because her level of frustration and anger and resentment that has allowed her and your sister to come into this courtroom and really speak terribly about an innocent child. I'm glad I'm in this chair, because I get to see the big picture. The big picture of this is she's not sick of the baby, she's sick of you. Because you running around here. You running around here, you having babies. She just said it.
I don't know
And
what
at
they
the
talking
end
about,
of
though.
the day, it falls on her. The weight falls on her. The responsibility falls on her.
I don't sleep around like that.
Well, I don't know how many kids you got. I don't know, but she just said to me she's got a lot of, you got kids and she's just tired. Do you understand what your mother is saying, Mr. Hughes?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm gonna go to these results in just a moment, but I need to understand. Ms. Mcbirth, you say Ms. Jackson defamed you.
Yeah, she did. She going around town.
That's your lawsuit, $1,000.
Right.
She defamed you. Please explain to this court
She going around telling everybody, well, we're deadbeats, we don't do nothing for the baby. How am I supposed to do something for a child that I don't know is mine?
But
other
what
girls.
proof did you bring to court that
What
these
proof?
statements occurred? What proof?
If I had my phone, I'd pull up the Facebook where she posted on Facebook.
That's what we need.
Yeah, I want
We
to see
need
that.
proof
You
that
did.
she
You
defamed
I never
you.
said anything disrespectful about you guys, and I never will, because I have
First of all,
more
you on
respect
a- you on a
than
5, I need
that
you
for
on a
you
3.
guys as his,
You on a 5,
as
take
his
it from-
parents.
Know where you're tone.
Me, his
Let's get
girlfriend.
some control, ladies. This is just going way off the deep end, and it doesn't serve Alijah at all. I don't have proof of the false statements, and I don't have proof of any injury that was caused. And for that reason, I have to dismiss your claim.
That's fine.
Now, I'm ready for the results. Jerome, let's get to the results.
Come on.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics. They read as follows. In the case of Mcbirth, Terrell v. Jackson, pertaining to 2-year-old Alijah Jackson, pertaining to 2-year-old Alijah Jackson, and whether Mr. Hughes is the father. Mr. Hughes, you are Alijah's father.
That's not true. You a lying trick. What did you do? What did you do?
Hey, calm
She
down.
probably
Get rid of Satan,
you
save our lives.
trash. I'm through. I know that's a damn lie. I'm sick of that.
Somebody fix it. Yeah, we're gonna get
It's Mr. Hughes' son. And everything you're saying right now, believe me, and I say this earnestly, you will regret one day.
I hope I do.
No.
I hope I do.
You will.
Because
You will.
Something you've never had.
You will.
You can't
You will.
Never had.
It's not becoming and it's not necessary.
You're right.
The baby didn't walk into this world on his own, talking about people's bridge, no bridge, hair, no hair. Irrelevant evidence when the truth is right here in this lab report.
That's
I
not.
still don't believe it.
Mr. Clark, you were suing the defendant for a DNA test and for $1,560 for damages you claim she caused to your property because you deny paternity of her 2-month-old daughter, Vanique.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say today you will prove you are not Vanique's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Bailey, you say you were on fire when Mr. Clark left you for another woman while pregnant with his child.
Yes, I was.
You are 100% certain he is your daughter's
Yes, I
father.
am.
Additionally, you are countersuing Mr. Clark for $300 for half of Vanique's child care expenses over the last 2 months. Is that
Yes.
correct? So, Mr. Clark, tell me about the damages you're suing Ms. Bailey for.
Yeah, she burnt all of my clothes up. She came over there one day mad about me and her, my baby, and I told her the baby ain't mine. Acting a fool, Your Honor. Trying to get in the house, arguing with my lady.
So wait a minute, she comes over your house with clothes
Yes,
of yours,
yes.
then burns them
Then burns them
at your house?
at my house.
Do you have evidence of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Ron, can you hear me? Mr. Clark's evidence, please. So she comes to your house with the clothes and then burns the clothes at your house.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is a list of the items that she came over with?
Yes, ma'am.
Jeans, sneakers, shirts, socks, hats, and this is a picture of the fire she set.
Yes, ma'am.
You have a combined total of $1,560. Is that about correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Bailey, did you set that fire to his clothes?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. I really did because I was mad. I was 7 months pregnant at the time. He left me and shacked up with another girl. And
Hold on,
I was
shacked up on you.
emotional. I was
I didn't
mad
shack
at the
up on
time.
you.
And so I was like, you know what, to relieve all this, I have all his clothes in my closet still. So I was like, I put all his clothes in my car. I went to the gas station, got a
Your
water
Honor,
bottle
excuse me.
of gas, and I went
Your
to his house, put the clothes in the front yard, poured the gasoline on them, and I burnt them. And I was relieved.
What are you
I
doing
was
playing with
relieved.
gasoline and fire when
I
you're
was
7
so
months
mad
pregnant?
Because I was emotional and he left me. Like he really left me. I know you know how I feel, to be 7 months pregnant, emotional,
Well, I
crying.
don't know how it feels to be 7 months pregnant and someone leave me, but I do know how you feel at 7 months pregnant.
Yes. And so I was very
But
sad.
at this point in your relationship, was he denying he was the father?
He didn't start denying her until she was born, and they both came to the hospital. And his.
So wait a minute, why were you
was
so
denying her
mad
from the
then if he
jump.
wasn't denying her when you were 7 months pregnant?
Because I was 7 months pregnant, and I was just so mad that he left me. Like, you literally left me at 7 months pregnant. Why didn't you leave me after?
The bottom line is he left you to be with another woman.
Yes.
And
Your
you're
Honor.
7 months pregnant.
Yes.
And you were just so hurt.
Yes,
Your Honor.
that he left me.
She cheated.
Yes, I
So
did.
wait a minute, let me
First
get
off-
one fact at a time. You mad at him because he went to be with somebody else, but he's testifying that you cheated.
I cheated because he said he didn't want a girl that parties a lot. And so he left, and I cheated. Yes, I did. But I don't think that's cheating. You left. So I had sex with someone.
One day after my cousin's wedding. Come on now.
Yeah.
Real.
So you all were together. You all got into an argument. You said you really didn't want to be with a girl that parties a lot.
Yeah.
So you said it's over?
Yeah, I told her it's over.
So that's cheating. I don't call it
Hold on, the
cheating.
same night I left. I came back the next day. You know what I'm saying?
But by that time, it was too late.
It was too late. Yes, it
seems so.
was.
Were you all boyfriend and girlfriend, committed, just dating?
Boyfriend and
In the
girlfriend at
beginning-
first. And during this relationship, like he started growing up big, like it was a big tumor on the side of his neck. And so we went to the hospital. He found out he had cancer. From there, he got admitted to the hospital and he started his chemo sessions and everything. But before then,
And you all
they-
were together when this happened?
Yes, they said, are you guys interested in having children? And we both like, yeah, and they was like, well, there's an 80% chance that he can't have children during his chemo.
So you know
And-
I can't have kids.
But there's still that
Come on
20% that he can. And so they was like, do y'all have $500 to, get his sperm and we can inject you or whatever to, have a child? And we didn't have the money at the time. And so I normally come on like at the end of the month, but I didn't.
So you missed your cycle.
Yes.
Okay.
My cousin moved in with us middle or the end of May, and she was pregnant. So I started taking her prenatal pills to enhance the pregnancy. I knew we couldn't have children, but there's still that 20%.
Now, did you all talk about this? Like,
No,
now
no.
that this is happening, I want to try to have a baby, or you
she
just
didn't.
decide I'm
I
going to
just
get on
decided
prenatal?
to-
Tell me nothing.
Take prenatal pills.
She didn't tell me she was taking pills until after the baby was born. I went to the doctor with her. It said she was pregnant. I said, now who you been messing with? Because I'm not the daddy. It's an 80% chance, Yana.
But there's 20. There's
Hold
still
on,
that
no. You had your turn. It's my turn. It's an 80% chance, Yana,
There's still that 20%.
where I can't have kids. That other 20% that she's talking about,
They didn't say 100. They said
the other
80.
20% that she's talking about, it's the 20% dude that she was messing with.
So you know she was with someone else?
Yes,
She
but
told me.
he
She
wore
told me.
protection. So there's no.
So-
I'm 100% sure
She
that
said,
he's
she
the father
said, she
of
said
Malik.
they were protection, but right now, she said, but the condom did slipped off. So come
really?
on now.
Did you admit that the condom came
Come
off,
on
Miss
now.
Bailey?
No,
Oh yes, you did. Come on now, you don't have to
he
stop.
had he wore protection, but it did not come off at all.
So that's not true.
That's not true.
Mr. Clark, your doubt stems from the fact that as you're undergoing chemotherapy, you've been informed by your doctors that this would affect your ability, possibly.
Yes.
And that's why they suggested to you to freeze some of your sperm, because they knew that there was a chance that this treatment could affect your chances of having children.
Yes, ma'am.
And you proceeded with your treatment.
Yes, ma'am.
And how much longer after that time did Miss Bailey tell you she was pregnant?
8 months to a year after that time. We went up there. They said she was pregnant. I said, now who you messing with?
Because you
'Cause I
had gone
know-
through multiple rounds of chemotherapy at that point.
Yes, ma'am.
And in your mind, you were thinking, after I'm completing this program, she's saying you're pregnant, so you're very doubtful.
I'm very doubtful. Very doubtful. I'm sickly, hands turning black.
Well,
and
he wasn't
everything.
doubtful until like after I had her, and his girlfriend was like, I don't think that baby's yours.
You felt like he was happy about it?
He was happy.
He
And I
was.
was too, very emotional because from that point I was like, well, he can't have children. There was 80% chance that he can't have
So you're
children.
thinking this 20% miracle has come to pass?
Yes, Vanique is a miracle baby.
We really wanted to understand medically how this works. And so the court would like to call a witness. Ron, could you please escort Dr. Jackie Walters into the courtroom?
Yes, Your
I'd
Honor.
like to ask her some questions, please.
Right up the stairs.
Dr. Jackie, you are a board-certified OBGYN.
Correct.
Mr. Clark had to undergo several rounds of chemotherapy as part of treatment. And during that time, Ms. Bailey announced she was pregnant. They were told by their doctors that there was an 80% chance that this would negatively affect his ability to have children. What are the actual statistics on losing sperm cells while undergoing chemotherapy treatments?
It depends on the type of chemo, the dose, the age of the patient. However, if you ask for general statistics, it is about 77%.
How old were you at the time you were receiving the treatment, Mr. Clark?
I started receiving treatments at the age of 26.
So at 26 years old, would he be considered in the younger part of the spectrum?
Yes.
And that would then better his chances?
Hello.
Well, as you can see, Ms. Bailey is focused
Well, I'm
on
just
that
going by what the doctor
20%
told me.
chance.
Unfortunately, it only takes one sperm. And so
We say that all the time in this
Yes,
courtroom.
correct.
Thank you.
And medicine is not an absolute science. 80% sounds like a lot. It's still that 20%.
So the truth is, we don't know.
Without a semen analysis, there's no true way of us really giving him any statistics. With a semen analysis, if he had a sperm count of at least 20 million per ejaculate, then that's all it really takes.
That don't change the cheating.
No, Mr. Clark, that does not.
I mean,
That does not. Hold on now, because I know you got 20/20 vision. All you can say is 20. I get that. Yes. I get that. But I do want to hear from Mr. Clark
Yeah.
because he says you were also intimate with someone else.
Yes,
And
I
there may
was.
have been issue with the protection.
she was-
and that is relevant testimony as well.
Yes.
So, Mr. Clark, please tell the court, how do you know she cheated?
The first
I
time
told
she
her.
cheated, I caught her.
You caught her.
We were broke up.
Hold on, we was broke up. So I went in her, tried to get in the door. I had a key. Tried to get in her door. And she's trying to hold the door back, so I pushed it in. Dude, it's on the couch. And so me,
left.
I was like, you know what?
Broke up.
Get my clothes. I'm gone.
Had you been intimate?
Yes.
You had,
Yes.
and you admit to that.
Yes.
Had you used protection?
No.
No. And I still took her back like a fool.
So at that point, you tried to come back together. It didn't happen. I see smiles. Oh,
Yeah, my
that's
baby.
beautiful, right?
Yes.
That's why we're here. Brings you to tears when you see your baby.
Yes. She
Why?
just needs a father. She needs a father. I didn't have a father.
And you really want that for her.
Yes.
I want you to take me to the birth. So much has gone on between the two of you.
He was there. He cut the umbilical cord and everything.
Really?
Yes. But after she got in his ear, it was like.
So you were
now you're
present
from
for the
there.
birth, Mr. Clark?
Yeah, I was there. She was too.
Really? Did you sign the birth certificate?
No, I was gonna sign that birth certificate, and she gave the baby my grandma's name and my last name.
Yeah.
Really? Do you
Because
have
I'm
this birth
100% sure that-
certificate?
Yeah, I got
You
it right
did.
there, Your Honor.
Vanique Kiesia Elaine Clark.
My grandma's name.
Elaine. Yes.
My grandma just passed, and she gonna get the baby my grandma's name.
You all agreed to that?
No.
I did. I just said, well, I think she's 100% yours, so I'm gonna give her your last name.
When you speak and you testify, Ms. Bailey, you have said over and over again that some of his actions are a result of his new relationship.
This don't have nothing to do with her.
And
You know what I'm saying?
he was.
It's-
I guess she was like, no, you
my
can't go
reasons
back
is
over
my
there and see
reasons.
your child until you find out the child is yours.
My reasons is my reasons.
I'd like to hear from your witness. Ma'am, please stand. State your name for the record.
My name is Terrell Hudson.
Ms. Hudson,
Yes.
you are Mr. Clark's current girlfriend?
Yes.
What happened at the hospital? You were there.
She told the nurse to give me the baby. Out of all
I
people.
did. Do she look like him or do she not?
And he
This
asked
is getting even more interesting.
He asked me right there in front of me, he was like, do you think this is my baby? And I told him the truth. I said, no, I don't believe she's your baby.
As soon as this baby is born, fresh into the world, that's the first thing you all doing is staring at the baby's features?
Yes.
This,
Their denial.
Because at the
Well, I
end of
just
the day,
think that's sad.
this,
I
that's
mean,
what I'm
calm it
going
down.
at.
Back down
That's
because
what
they don't
Real,
got nothing to
calm
do
it
with
down,
I
Mike.
hear you.
So,
For real.
Mr. Clark, you actually submitted a baby photo
Yeah.
of yourself.
Of myself.
Yes. Yes.
So when you look at that photo,
Uh-huh.
that's
He
you on the
still-
left
he
as
still
a
don't
baby.
see it.
And then
She
and
look
that's-
like you.
That's Vanique on the right.
Yes.
You don't see any resemblance.
No.
I do.
I've been in this seat a million times. And a child looked just like the baby picture of somebody that turned out not to be theirs. But when you see these pictures, you just don't see any similarity.
From the lips.
Look, the lips, the nose, the eyes, the head, everything. She looks just like him.
Not-
She don't have nothing to
does-
me.
This is the situation we get ourselves in when we make a mess.
Yes. It was a big
Right?
mess. Yes.
So moving forward, you all decide you're not gonna do anything for this child.
Nothing. Heaven did nothing.
She's not mine in my eye.
I just don't understand why he stayed.
I stayed because I loved you.
Let's move forward.
Okay.
You've submitted receipts to the court
Yes.
of the expenses you've incurred thus far.
Yes.
As it relates to baby Vanique.
Yes.
You've spent about $50 a week on diapers and formula and wipes.
Yes. I bought her
Totaling
car,
about
I bought her car
$600.
seat, everything she needed.
Everything you've paid
Yes.
for yourself.
Yes.
And Mr. Clark, you admittedly have not contributed anything.
No, ma'am.
And that's why your countersuit is for $300, which is
Yes.
half of $600.
Yes.
Which, if he is determined to be the biological father of this child, he would be legally responsible to pay. Well, I cannot rule on this until I have the results.
Okay.
Before I go to the results, let's first talk about his lawsuit. Mr. Clark, you came in suing for $1,560 for damages you say she caused to your property, your clothing, that she had burned.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Bailey, you admitted here in court today that you did it.
I did it.
You did it.
And I was so relieved when I did it.
Listen, listen. I know you were hurt.
Yes. Very.
I know, and that will break you down.
It did.
And it will cause you to do some things that you should not do, and it will
Yes.
cause you to do illegal things
And I did.
that under the
I
law
was
you
so
cannot
hurt.
do.
I know.
Because all you wanted to do was hurt him the way he hurt
Hurt
you.
me.
So because you willfully destroyed his property, I have to award him the $1,560 from his clothing that you destroyed. Judgment for the plaintiff. Moving forward, I think we're ready for the results.
Burn no clothes no more.
You all done?
Yes.
A lot of unfinished business here. I hope you're taking note, Miss Hudson. You
am.
quiet over there. Just poke, 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 poke. Both of you, back and forth. You can't even get the results. Are you ready for the results?
Yes.
Ron, I'm ready. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Clark v. Bailey, when it comes to 3-month-old Vanique Clark, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Clark, you are not the father.
I wanted him to be the father. I wanted him to be there. She looks just like him.
Sometimes we just want something to be true so desperately that we make it so. Miss Bailey, do you know who Vanique's father is?
Yes, I only had sex with one person during this process.
Do you know where he is?
He's incarcerated.
Mr. Clark, you've been through a lot these last couple of years, not just with respect to the paternity, but with respect to your own health.
Yes, ma'am. She almost had me believing, honestly. But I felt it. I felt she wasn't mine.
I can see in your eyes you had convinced yourself.
There was still that 20% chance that she might be his, but she's not.
But in this present moment, you have to understand that he doesn't have a legal obligation.
Right.
And also, because it has been determined by this court that he is not Vanique's biological father, your claim for $300 for half of the child care expenses, I must dismiss.
Yeah.
I'm being straight up with you. You got to put the big girl panties on.